So this video today is going to be about circling. Now, circling is a practice, a relational practice, and I'll just name before I go too far into it that the word circling gets used by many different related adjacent practices, and it has a history, which I won't go fully into here because um, one of the beautiful things, in my experience about circling, is that it calls on us to relate from our truth and our experience, and it owns that it's ours. It's my personal experience of what circling is. But that's what the gift of this is that any sharing of what circling is necessarily not what it is. As a practice, circling defies expression, and it can be a little bit too poetic to try to describe circling in those terms. I won't do that, but I'll just say that it's something that what you will experience in circling, what you will come to recognize as your authentic offering into whatever moment you're in now. It's not some future. Whatever expression that you're offering in your practice of sharing, that's circling. You're the living example of circling. And the way that I like to play with this frame. And so now I'll just share what I like to do and how I like to give context for a practice that I call circling, which is adjacent to many other practices. All of them are a little different, but they belong to the world of authentic relating. So circling is a meditation on what is it like for us to be here right now in our bodies present. So if I'm connecting in with my body, right? My body tells me it's here right now, right? It feels something. And I can only access the dimension, the sense of feeling through the present moment. So this is hearkening to a principle of this practice and this relational practice called speaking from the level of sensation. If I speak from the level of my sensation, I may directly describe the sensations in my body. I could say right now, like I feel a sense of calm, of warmth, presence. I feel a little bit of angst, caffeine, nervous energy or something. And I also notice, I noticed I just like relaxed my root. I just like, let go of my butthole. Can really feel subtlety when I bring my attention to speaking about my body. Can notice as I'm speaking that I'm congealing into some contraction in my body or that I'm relaxing, whatever. I'm just narrating what's happening here. That's speaking from the level of sensation on a very real, on a very literal expression of that. But there's also speaking from the level of sensation, which doesn't necessarily speak directly to what am I feeling right now, but and I'll just share as I'm speaking now. I am feeling deeply connected to my body, and I don't necessarily need to speak the actual feelings that are happening, but I am so connected to them that they evolve the language. They allow language to emerge out of the moment much more directly because some of my awareness is not in my head, it's not with how to describe this or make sense. It's more with the sensation of aliveness in my present moment experience. So expressing that from just expressing my experience or expressing whatever I am expressing from a feeling sense. Like I am feeling, doesn't matter that I'm not speaking it. It connects something. So that's one principle of circling. Another is being with the other in their world. And I quite love this one. It's sort of the granddaddy of empathy. It's like, how much can I empathize with your experience? Can I really be with you in your world? And a key here is that in order to really allow a sense of beingness, being with, allowing, I cannot in any way be trying to change myself or you. If I'm going to be with you in your world, I really have to allow you to be. I have to allow you to be as you are. And there's a beauty and a power to that. So many of us in our regular lives, we walk around, we try to connect with someone, and we don't think they want really all of who we are. And maybe they're not available to, we might have something going on that they're not available to try to be with. But our own direct experience in this practice is so welcome. Our experience of, um, yeah, whatever color of humanity, circling it's like a meditation space. And if you're meditating and it's all sunshine and radiant beauty and bliss, then hallelujah, wonderful. It's a great meditation. It's probably pretty easy to relax and open into that. But most of us are like sitting there and there's something grungy going on or something a little weird or and then in this meditation, there's also you and me. And I'm used to us being separate. I'm used to us not experiencing the same things. And so I have this hesitancy of sharing my inner world, right? Because I want to be understood. I want it to feel a certain way. I want to make sure I know that I'm safe. The invitation isn't necessarily to just divulge or like vomit out everything that's happening inside you, but to just consciously be aware of like what wants to speak right now, what's alive in my experience. It always comes back to the present moment. Like what's happening for me now? And is there an urge really to let that be seen here? Or maybe there's like, I don't want anyone to see or know what's going on inside me. That is something we can share actually in circling. I have something going on I don't really want to tell anyone about. I don't want anyone to notice this. I don't want to feel this. I don't want to connect to this. That's welcome because even any resistance, any fear and avoidance that we might have, it's a part of us in this moment. And if we allow it to be here, we don't try to change it, chances are, I mean, guess what? It's like everything changes. Everything. And to me, that's the great play of this is that, yeah, there's no need to try to alter someone's personality or make them different. In a circling space, we can learn to allow. That's our gift. The gift of this practice in part is learning to really deeply allow others to be as they are. And then this strange realization, we can also let ourselves be as we are. We don't need to be different. So these are just a couple of the principles of circling. Now, what actually happens in circling? Usually it's a gathering of a group of people, four people or more, usually, but could be less, could be one-on-one. And simply, we're just allowing what's happening already to be narrated. And as it's brought forward, there we are in the practice, relating, coming back to the present, rooting back into the level of sensation, exploring being with the other in their world. And I'll just briefly name the other principles here, which is trusting our experience and owning our experience, as well as a commitment to connection. So we trust our experience. My experience might be like, gosh, what he's saying and talking about, I just don't connect to. What if I trust that? I'm like, hey, I can't connect to what you're saying. I don't know why. Not necessarily making it about them, but just noticing what's really happening for us, owning our experience is important skill to be developed here because if we don't, yeah, we're just judging other people. And yeah, it's actually I think it's kind of okay to have opinions and judgments of other people, but to own that they're yours. It's really about you somehow. It's how you're taking it in. It just creates a safer container for everyone. But it also develops something really rich. It helps us see more. Because this practice is a presence practice and it involves multiple other people, there are reflections happening. This is like a hall of mirrors. And we don't own, if we own our experience, if we do own our experience, we will see more about ourselves. We'll see our reactions. We'll see the people we naturally feel safe with. We'll notice the people we're anxious about, we want to avoid. Maybe a sensibility about that person, but maybe it's really something that they're just so much like us. We can see our shadows more clearly. So that's a little on trust, owning your experience, trusting your experience, following your own curiosity, what's alive for you, where your interest is. If something's happening out there and you don't really trust it, trusting your distrust is a form of practicing this. And the last thing I'll just say is this commitment to connection. That means for me, connection is not primary connection is to myself. It's feeling in myself that here I am and sense of openness, availability to myself. If I don't have that, I certainly cannot have that with you. So commitment to connection, it can look like staying in a situation and in a practice where it might be a little gritty, like as an intention to stay through some grittiness, to actually find the willingness to stay grounded and connected. But it can look like, sometimes, and this is real, circling. If the space in the context isn't clear or somebody's just really bringing something that's very dissonant, again, we're here to accept things in this practice. It's a meditation. But acceptance might look like, and commitment to connection might look like, nope, I'm done, and walking away from it. So there's a flexibility in these principles. They're not intended to be laws or rules. Probably the truest, the most golden rule is to just be yourself as fully as you can. Allowing, this is a place where people research things as well. It's a place where people research like what is allowed, what can I express, what's at the edge of my experience in expression. Like sometimes I have very profound experiences circling, and I run out of words for how to describe what is it. I mean, what it's really like to meet another person can be very multidimensional, can be deep. It can be live more in the realm of feeling and sensing and connection and beauty than it does in my mind or what I think about this person or even like is remaining separate. This is for me, it's just a playground where I explore what it's like to be one with everything. And turns out it's pretty beautiful. And it also stretches me both interpersonally and my nervous system. It expands my capacity for feeling and compassion, and it invites greater patience and willingness to listen and not assume I know what another person's world is. So this is a jumble of things. This video just chatting about circling as a practice, but what's possible. Yeah, I hope this you find this useful. God bless.